What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Taya. I am currently a fitness coach and I have been for the last 4 years. I am on a huge healing journey. I just got back from a 30-day trip in Bali, just took some time to go and escape and really just expand on the things that I have learned in 2024. And that is what I'm going to talk about today is what are the key factors that really played a huge part in my growth in 2024? I actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen because I posted about it, but I just got back from a 3-day business retreat and I was actually awarded from my business coach, which is like a super full circle moment for me for the most expansive transformation in 2024. And that really meant so much to me because just to feel, and this is why I love mentorship too, just to feel like seen and heard from someone else is just such a heartwarming experience to know that someone else is like watching you grow through all of the shit that you go through. And so I wanted to come on and create this video and just share with you guys some of my key takeaways for 2024 because I truly do feel like 2024 was like a huge turning moment for me. To give a little bit of a background for the beginning of the year in 2024, I was going through a really rough time mentally, had a little bit of depression going on, was still obviously fully functioning in my business, but I was really struggling to show up. I went through a breakup in like the middle of 2024. We're currently now back together working it out, so I'll get to that. There's a lot that happened in 2024, and it truly was such an eye-opening year for me because for so long, this is probably one of my number one takeaways. For so long, I have been in a victim mentality. I am very avoidant and I basically have not taken accountability for a lot of things in life or even looked inward. And I think that that was a huge turning point in 2024 is actually taking accountability for my life and like the actions that I was doing that weren't getting me anywhere, that were really keeping me stuck. And that's a huge thing in my relationship now is like I was so quick to blame a lot of other people or my significant other or whoever, friends even, for why things don't work out. And I never actually took the time, and this is like the first relationship where I'm like, hey, like these are some things that I have done, I am conditioned to, that have been programmed in me for so freaking long, and I was really ready to overcome them. So after the breakup in the middle of the year, I really did take some time to really sit with myself and to figure out where I was holding myself back. And I feel like that's where a lot of people and where I have gone wrong for so long too, is I keep looking for external things to blame for why things aren't working out. And I think that just being able to actually take accountability for that has been really big. And just to be able to, with no judgment, just see my flaws from an outside view as well as like, what am I doing? Because I need to get better with it, right? And for so long, I just went on like, oh, just like move on from it, keep grinding, just move on with your life. And I feel like obviously that doesn't do us any good when like the patterns keep repeating themselves. And so this year was a huge year for me to just really slow down and to actually start taking shit seriously and stop blaming everyone else outside of myself. Like I really needed to take accountability for some of the things that I was doing that was causing me to, be stuck here. So that is like my number one takeaway for 2024. And I feel like that's how I have had the most expansive transformation is like actually tuning in and like looking at what are the things that I'm doing that, cause the fights? What are the things that I'm doing that hold me back from actually being able to communicate? What are the things I've been through? And a huge part of this is me working with like a life coach, which has actually been like a therapist, honestly, for me. But we've done some really freaking deep work, and I really had to take some time and to figure out what are things that I need to work on. My communication, I run away when things get hard. I don't want to work through things. I just basically go into work mode and just grind, and I'm an avoidant, and that's something that I really needed to work on, especially for my relationship to work. That's been huge for me, to be able to actually recognize that I'm not always perfect, and sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone who basically has been seeking outside validation for so long from other people, literally since I was a child. And I found that out this year as well, just because I wasn't loved the way that a child should have been loved in their home. So yeah, just being able to actually tune in and ask myself, where are the areas that I'm not fully showing up, and like that I'm letting my ego take over, and being able to actually sit with that, and being able to actually hold yourself accountable to that, and recognize the negative patterns and behaviors and habits that I have been conditioned to that were not serving me, that were only hurting me. So it's really easy to blame everyone else and blame like the external factors, because you can just blame them and move on from it and just continue living thinking you're just the fucking perfect queen. But that was something that I really wanted to take accountability for, and I'm super grateful for my partner now, because he has been able to actually, you know, he's got his stuff that he has to work through too, but he's been able to sit there with me through that and actually help me, you know, recognize the things that I was recognizing that are holding me back. So when you can have two people that actively want to work together to become better together, it's so beneficial. So being at the state I am in my relationship now, I'm just super grateful for that, because that has honestly allowed me to show up in every single other area of my life so much better as well. I feel like I'm better for myself. I love myself more, being able to actually like hold space for the hurt Taya that's inside of me, you know, and just be able to actually like love her and care for her and nourish her and give her the love and everything that she needs. So I'm able to do that with myself, and then when I can do that with myself, I'm able to also do that even better with my clients and just help them even get out of their own way and like recognize some patterns that they believe about themselves as well. So it's really helped me in like so many different areas, being able to just take accountability. I feel like if you are stuck in your life right now and you just find yourself living in this pattern of like things just never work out for me, like why do I keep getting hurt, why do I keep going through these breakups, why do I keep just failing at some things, if you find yourself like maybe even living the same repetitive life over and over and over, your days are just basically the same, first of all, like ask yourself, what are you doing that's standing in your way that maybe you're not recognizing? For me, it's the avoidant, right? Where I just wanted to run away from things, and running away from things doesn't help, doesn't change the situation, and it just brushes things under the rug for the time being, and that obviously leads to worse things. So just ask yourself, like, what are some patterns that maybe you were instilled growing up? Like, what are some like thoughts and behaviors and habits and beliefs that you have in yourself that maybe were instilled in you growing up that are not serving this version of you or the version of you that you want to become? It's probably one of my number one takeaways in 2024 is just take accountability for your shit. You're not perfect. It's okay. We're human. We make mistakes. Sometimes we yell. Sometimes we do things that we probably feel embarrassed about or regret a little bit later, but say sorry, apologize, like just take accountability for just making mistakes. It's okay. Like, we're all living life for the first time. We're all experiencing this world in such a different way. And I think it's also important for relationships too, and this is one thing that I've learned this year, is that we both have different perspectives on life, right? Like, we both experienced life in the world in such a different way. Our childhoods are so different. Our communication styles are so different. Our love languages are so different. So coming together as a couple, like, you have to learn a lot about the other person, and there's also going to be a lot of baggage. There's also going to be a lot of trauma that maybe they don't talk about. There's going to be a lot of hard things that you have to work through. So being able to actually be open-minded and take constructive criticism from the person that you love is huge too, or from someone that loves you and cares for you. It's just like, hey, the thing that you're doing isn't really benefiting you the way that you might think it is, or maybe that you're not aware of. So that's been huge. I would say the second thing that completely changed the game for me and contributed to my growth in 2024 was honestly defining who I wanted to be and starting to show up as her. I was going through the motions a lot of the days, and I was just, I had these goals, but like I didn't really have much of a push and an action plan to really reach them. And I was just kind of hoping for the best, just doing the same things, trying to work harder, trying to reach these goals. And I honestly just found myself struggling to reach goals. And in 2024, I started to get very intentional once I got out of my little slump in the beginning of the year. I started to get very intentional about actually doing things that aligned with who I wanted to become. I was saying yes to things that just drained me. I was spending a lot of time doom scrolling and just habits that no longer serve me and the person I want to become. I was procrastinating a lot. I was sleeping in. I was ignoring my alarm. I was staying up really late. I, was just doing things that didn't serve the version of me that I wanted to become. And once I started to get actually intentional about who I wanted to become, because if we don't know who we want to become, it's really easy for us to just go through the motions every single day, right? But when you're actually crystal fucking clear on who you want to become, the intention behind your thoughts, your patterns, your beliefs, your habits are extremely vital to actually reaching that goal. So if you want to become the person that wakes up in the morning, it's really like writing your main character story, right? Like your dream character story. Like, who do you want to be? Do you want to wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and have a morning routine and go to the gym before you have to go to work and meal prep on Sundays and whatever that looks like? It looks different for everyone. Maybe you want to be like a stay-at-home mom or make money from your phone or be a fucking skier. Like, whatever it is that you want to be, you have to start taking action towards that and start really living in that version of yourself right now, today. Like, start doing the things that future version that you want to become needs to do, right? Like, if you have a goal of being the girl that wakes up at 5 a.m., start waking up at 5 a.m. now. Why are you waiting? Like, what are you waiting for to do that? Like, figure out who you want to be. Figure out what you want this dream character, this main character energy to be like. Like, who do you want to surround yourself with? What habits do you have? What activities or hobbies do you do? Do you go to church? Do you get sober? Like, what is the version of you want to do? Who do you want to become? And start showing up as her. And that makes making decisions throughout your day and throughout your life so much fucking easier, because you're so intentional about the decisions you make. Because it's really easy once you actually know, what does the highest version of myself do every single day? If you get asked to do something and it's not aligned with the higher version of you, the answer is no. The answer is no. So, in order for you to actually step into that power and step into the version of yourself that you want to become, you have to get crystal clear on that. And this year, probably over the last, I would say even 4 months, the last 4 months have really been the biggest transition or transformation for me. But I've been getting more and more intentional about that and actually defining, and that can change. Your goals can change. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It's your life at the end of the day. But being more intentional about the person that you want to become, because when you're in alignment with who you want to be and you're actually showing up as her, life is fulfilled. Life is great. You wake up with a smile on your face, right? Because you know that you're actively working towards and doing the things that the best version of you would want to do. So I would highly encourage you to get really clear on who you want to be, because that is going to really be the difference in 2025 for you, of you just living this, checking off the boxes and living in this mediocrity and this mundane life, versus you like really fucking having a pivot year and you stepping into your true power. So start being intentional about your time and about your habits and about even your thoughts and your beliefs. Like, all of those have to line up. Like, this future version of you that wants to be so confident and so happy and like gym girly and like a business owner and all these things, like, she's probably not sitting there telling herself she's like a lazy pile of shit, right? Like, she's probably like, fuck yes, bitch, you got it. Like, talking so positively and encouraging and motivating herself and loving on herself and like celebrating herself. Like, your thoughts and your action, or your thoughts and your beliefs also have to line up with that. So powerful, so powerful. And the third thing, and I'll leave you with this, that completely changed the game for me in 2024. And I really have said this for so long, and I will stand by this, and I will take this to my grave, is hiring the right mentors. Holy shit, guys, I went all in this year on mentors, and I know 2025 is going to be even freaking better, but I found the best business coach in my entire life. I've had 5 business coaches at this point in time. The clarity that I have around my messaging and my marketing and what I need to do every single day to actually build this dream that I have has never felt more aligned and clear for me after 5 business coaches. So do your research. Not all of my past business coaches were bad, but I've had a few questionable ones for sure. But this one, like, I did my research. I spoke to her clients. I really did my research on her program, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go all in on it. And here I am, like, have the most clarity in my messaging and my content and my brand and my vision that I ever had before. So 100% on that one. This year I also hired my own fitness coach to just hold me accountable, to help me really keep my ass in the gym through all the chaos and everything. So that was a great investment for me to just really continue to show up as the best version of myself. My third investment that I have made in a mentor this year is my life coach. When I tell you, this man has completely changed my life, he has completely changed my life. He's also changed my boyfriend's life by just having one phone call with him, because he did that to help serve me on a deeper level, and it unlocked something in him. And I feel like I am so much more clear. I feel like I am growing. I feel like I am actually just like being a conscious observer of myself and the things that I'm doing and how I can get better and how I can improve. I'm still working with him to this day, and will probably continue to work with him for a while. But that has been another great investment. And never in my life I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hire a life coach. But like, I was just recommended to by one of my friends in my business mentorship. She recommended him to me, and I got on a call, and I was like, yep, this is it. Like, this is exactly what I need. I really went into it to work through like some childhood trauma that I know was keeping me stuck and keeping me back. But it's been so much more than that. Like, really just being able to get my energy out and like tune into myself more and like love myself more, and it's just been so incredible. And without that, like, I wouldn't be here like saying this is how my most expansive year has gone. Like, I wouldn't be here giving you advice on this, because making that investment in myself completely changed my life. So that has been another incredible one. I also made a couple investments in some courses that have expanded my knowledge, that have actually helped me feel more comfortable and more confident in my coaching and my ability as a coach, which has been super huge. I also invested in another mentor. We started last week, this is the beginning of December, she's an alignment coach. Her name is Lauren Lives on Instagram. She just helps you, make sure you're actually living in alignment with your future, with who you actually want to be and who you actually want to become to live a fulfilled life. And with that, I've done a lot of deep work on even fitness, and that has allowed me to make a big transition in my life. And 2025, there will be another big transition coming. Stay tuned for that. But honestly, like, at the end of the day with this one and all of that to say is, mentors will completely change your life. Like, if you invest in one freaking mentor, it will completely change your life. Do your research on it. A lot of people have bad experiences with mentorship. I've had a couple bad experiences with mentorship because I didn't truly do my research on it. Do your research and hire someone that you trust, but go all in on it. And I feel like a lot of people really are scared to hire mentors because there are some bad coaches out there. Yes, I will say there are some bad mentors out there that aren't in it for you. But there are a lot of coaches out there that are in it for you, that serve from the heart and want the very best for you. And I have been so grateful to be able to experience that this year. And I will say that 2024 would not have been my most expansive year without my mentors. They truly played such a huge role in just holding me accountable and helping me see my worth and understand what I'm capable of and believing in me. Like, some days you need someone else to believe in you, because some days, especially when you're in this lonely race, like, you can question a lot about yourself, and you can question, your whole life and your whole business, and just want to light everything on fire in one day. And just having someone to be there to support you, to hear you, to see you, to love you on your good days, on your bad days, is everything. So I wouldn't be where I am today without mentors in general. Again, I've had 5 different business coaches. I've made many investments. At this point, I've invested probably close to 6 figures. I know it's over 80K by now, but probably closer to 6 figures on mentorship in the last almost 4 years. So they've completely changed my life and changed just so much in me. So if you are going to do one thing this year to completely change your life, hire a mentor. Learning from someone who knows how to do it, who literally has the blueprint to get you where you want, whether it's starting your fitness journey, whether it's building a business, whether it's healing the childhood trauma. Stop trying to figure things out on your own. You're pushing a lot of your life off by trying to just figure things out on your own. And I will say, I figured my fitness journey out on my own. I figured out how to count macros. I figured out how to fuel my body. I figured out about the calorie deficit. I figured all that stuff out on my own, but you don't have to. And it can be a lot faster, and you can reach your goals a lot quicker if you were to just reach out and ask for help. And I know sometimes that can be really scary, especially even for me, growing up, I've always done everything on my own. I've never really, I don't like asking for help. I'm very much in my masculine, but to really be able to ask for help, especially as a woman who has been struggling for many years, is so powerful. And it's honestly the biggest sign of strength. Just saying hey, I have really big fucking goals and I want to reach them. I don't know how to reach them, but I trust you to guide me. And that's the beautiful thing with mentorship. So if you do one thing in 2025, just invest in yourself. Whether it's time, whether it's money, whatever it is, just invest into yourself. Because once you actually start living life on your terms and you actually start living life for you, that's when life starts to get really fucking good. A lot of people are really fucking miserable in this life. A lot of people are living life for everyone else but themselves. And if you can just make a decision for yourself to prioritize you, to actually reach a goal that would make you feel so fucking good, life gets so much better. And life can be so good, and it can be so fulfilling, and there can be so much happiness and love involved. And I don't think that a lot of people can really see that or believe that, but all it takes is just one choice to prioritize you and actually start living your life for you. So those are my biggest takeaways for 2024 as my most expansive, transformational year. And if you want 2025 to be any different than 2024, these are just a couple stepping stones for you. Start taking accountability of your life. Figure out who it is that you actually want to become and hire a mentor. Invest in yourself. And that's truly the cheat code to probably having the biggest pivot year of your entire life in 2025. Please comment below and let me know what one thing you're taking away from this video, because 2025 truly can be the most expansive year for you. Thank you for joining me on another episode, and I will see you next time.